I guess we'll kick this off. Thanks for judging. For guys that since this is gonna go on YouTube and stuff, and not everybody knows what Draw or Die is. We have monthly challenges, and we have guest judges. So Betty was judging Ascension. I'm horrible with numbers. Ascension 29, 28.
So we're almost no
One,
That's what I
one
remember.
of one of those. Um, and they're monthly challenges. We give out briefs. It's like a mock art brief, and then it's up to the group members to you know dish out the piece, and then the judge picks their favorites. So last month it was Betty. This month we got Dave Wilkins, and then upcoming judges are, who do we have? Suzanne Helmy or Helmy. I always mispronounce the last name. Who else do we have? We have a lot of girls coming up actually. Leisha Hannigan, who's up next, and then Evan. We just did the interview with him as well, and a few other people. So it's a lot of fun. At the beginning of the year, we had Dan Levisi, then we had Alex Negrea, and then it was Betty. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys. If you guys haven't heard about it, jump in. You learn a lot. You have a lot of growth going on in the group. So yeah, go ahead and jump in if you're interested. I'll link the group below, and then once we put it on YouTube, I'll put a link on there so you can click it and join the group. So yeah, thanks again, Betty, for coming out, and we'll go ahead and start with the usual typical question. How did you get started? Like, how did it all start for you? How old were you? And what was your motivation growing up?
I think I went into college always knowing I'm going to be involved in video games somehow. Like, I think the first video game that got me really interested was probably Metal Gear.
Ah.
And, like, from there on, I was just like, oh my god, I need to make video game art. And I think I spent around two years in college, Sheridan College, for illustration. And it just really wasn't for me, and I felt really trapped, and like I wasn't going anywhere in life. So after 2 years, I dropped out. Went back to China because I was like, well, maybe I can get a job in China because there's a higher demand for artists there. And that didn't work out as well as I thought because I was like only 19 at the time. So I was in China for about like 3-4 months. I did like a range of like very different jobs. I worked at game booth. I worked in advertising. It was just like really random things that I didn't really want to do, but like I just had to because I needed a job. So after 4 months in China, I was like, fuck this. I wasn't getting any jobs. So I went back to Canada, and that was actually when I got my first freelance gig at 19. And I think it just started off from there.
Nice. So
I know it sounds really boring, but like that's kind of just life in general. It's like sometimes things don't work out, and then all of a sudden, like, an opportunity shows up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So growing up, like, were your parents supportive of your art? Were they encouraging you, or was it kind of a uphill battle?
I think they were always very encouraging about it. Well, also because like I wasn't really exceptional at anything else but art, so they were just kind of like, okay, you gotta go into this because you're actually somewhat good at it. It's like for the longest time I was kind of like trying to rebel from that direction because I was like, oh, I want to be better than just art. I want to go into other things. So like before I went to college, I actually wanted to go into science for the longest time, like biology.
Uh-huh.
And then towards the end, I was kind of like, this is really fucking boring. And then I think I just did like a last minute change, even though I took a bunch of courses to get into science, and I just got into illustration.
Nice.
So yeah, my parents are always very encouraging, and I think I spent a good chunk of my life making not so great decisions, like really reckless things, like going back to China to find jobs, going to California randomly because I don't know, because like all my friends are in Cali, and then moving to London randomly for like a weird gig that I eventually stopped going to because I'm just like, ugh, London's just such a horrible place. Well, London, Canada, by the way, not the UK. And regardless of all my reckless decisions, I think my parents always stood behind me 100%.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So early on, you said Metal Gear was an inspiration because it's fucking awesome. I agree. Who are your artists like coming up that you looked up to and inspired you?
Um, I think I'm not sure if a lot of people know him, but I think the first concept artist I ever saw was I might be pronouncing his name wrong, but it's Alex Vagini. He currently works at BioWare, and like I think he was the first guy I came across on DeviantArt, and like I saw it. And at the time, I didn't know what photo bashing was, so I literally thought he hand painted everything. And I was like, holy fucking shit! Like this is amazing. Like how do you paint so real?
So he was
like that was my mindset in high school. Nobody told me what it was, so I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
I gotta look him
And
up.
yeah, he's really good.
So,
I think he did a lot of concepts for Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Or I can be wrong.
I'll look him up. So who else? Who else inspired you besides him?
There was Alex, and then Wesley Burt was a really big one.
Yeah.
Like, I think out of everybody, I think Wes has the most solid drawing skills.
Yeah,
he's like really good at rendering. His like penmanship is like amazing. He's like, I think he's overall just very, very good. And I don't know, I go through phases a lot. I think there was one time I was super into Ashley Wood. It's like I'm still into his stuff, but just not as crazy about it anymore. And then I also went through a phase where I really want to be James Jean. But I think everybody who goes into illustration wants to be James Jean because he's just amazing.
Yeah.
Before he went crazy. He did. He went crazy a little bit.
So I was looking at a lot of your art and stuff when I was going through it. When I first heard about you, I was like, "Who's Betty? Who's?" Oh, by the way, do you prefer? Because I saw you change your name to Grayson. Is it Betty or is it Grayson?
It's Betty. I changed my name to Grayson because I thought I was gonna be like, because like I was talking about, oh, I want a better name. That sounds cooler. And then my friend was like, why not Grayson? So I changed my name just to make him laugh. And then I realized I couldn't change it back for another 60 days because like Facebook is weird.
So now you're stuck with Grayson for how much longer?
Oh, I changed it back to Betty, by the way.
Oh, okay, so it's back to Betty
now. So I'm just like, oh, thank God.
So, what was I was saying? Oh, I was going through your art, and then I was looking at your traditional stuff, man, and it's so fucking amazing. That's kind of what caught my eye because I saw a lot of your stuff, and I was like, I think it was what was it? I think it was some sort of fan art. It looked like Killzone fan art, I think, or maybe what's that video game called? I forgot, but it just looked amazing. So, do you do that? Was that just personal stuff, or were those commissions, or what do you do with traditional stuff?
I actually started off with like a path down fine art because like I went to Sheridan, and Sheridan isn't. If you go to Sheridan, and you want to go into concept art, never go to illustration. Go to animation because like illustrations, they're really against like the entertainment industry. Like they think people who work there are like sheeps. Well, that's what at least one of the professors said, and I was like, that's so rude. And I think I started off just doing everything traditionally. Like I painted acrylics, I painted oil, and like I didn't really start painting digitally until I was in college and I got my first tablet, which wasn't even like pressure sensitive. Like it was so primitive, but like that's how I started in college. And I still kind of to this day I do a lot of traditional because like it just feels really good. Like I love doing things on Photoshop, but like to do things with paint on canvas is just like a totally different experience.
Yeah. So what is that? Acrylic or oil?
It's usually a mixed media because like I tend to do things in acrylic, and then I add dark hue values with colored pencils.
Nice. So
yeah.
So who do you look up to, like as far as traditional stuff goes?
Oh, I was super into Ashley Wood and James Jean because like I think I started using acrylic because I saw James Jean was doing all his Fable covers with acrylic, and I'm just like, and to this day I don't know how he does it. He does it so well blended. I'm like, oh my god, you're a monster.
What do you think?
Then,
what do you think of Drew Struzan? He's one of my favorites. The Star Wars guy.
I think he's really, yeah, I know him. He's really good. except I guess it's just not my cup of tea. I think he's an amazing mixed media artist. Like, I kind of want to know how he does his, like, what's his process like, but it's just like, I guess it's not my cup of tea, that's all.
Okay. I'm guessing
Yeah.
he's kind of boring.
It's amazing, though.
To you. Yeah, a lot of people, it's kind of funny, though, because I hear, like, a lot of either you really love the guy or you're just not into him. So it's kind of interesting, his take. But, yeah, good stuff. So, let's see. What other questions do we have before we start taking questions and stuff like that? Because I have a few other ones. Workflow. What's your current workflow right now? Like coming up. This is like a typical question that we get asked. Like, how did you learn? Did you start straight going to color, or did you start sketching values? And then how did you start from, like, I guess your past workflow to your current workflow? How does that? What's the difference?
My current workflow, it really depends on what they're looking for. If they're looking for something that's really realistic, I'm just like, I literally just start off looking for references on Pinterest or like Google or whatever, and just, if they're looking for something really real, I usually start with doing silhouettes, and then eventually I just like find a bunch of photos and like kind of bash them together and then paint over it. And I usually do that for like assets like weapons and environment. Whereas characters, I tend to do rough sketches first, and then I block in the values, and then I do color iterations using color overlays.
Okay.
I think that's pretty basic, right? I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, when you first started, I guess, because we get the question, like, what do you recommend somebody that's starting out? Like, so how did you learn colors when you first started? Color values. What did you do? Did you do studies, etc.?
Well, since I started in fine art, I painted a lot of fruits.
A lot of fruits?
A lot of fruits, a lot of cast, a lot of, I think, well, in some ways I did do a lot of studies, because I used to make pastel studies for like old traditional paintings, and that's, I think, how I learned how to render and do value and color. Although to this day I don't think my color is actually very exceptional, but it's satisfactory. I don't know.
You're like, it gets me through. No, it's good
yeah, it gets me through. People don't complain about
it. So, next question. This is like something that happens a lot, like I think to a lot of artists coming up. I mean, I think it still happens to everybody. During your learning phase, how did you get past like defeat and like the urge to give up, and how did you manage to stay positive?
I think a lot of it is just like a drive to be successful, because like I think right now I'm my greatest enemy, because I will have days where I'm just like I'm such a tool. Like eventually someone's gonna like find out what a scam I am, because I don't think I'm exactly any exceptional than any other artist. But I think just just having really good friends who tell me that I'm doing okay, I think that really got me through.
So,
and like I think there's gonna be times when like you don't feel like drawing, but I still push myself, because like you're gonna feel like crappy for like a good amount of time, but then the more you push yourself, the more you kind of get over it. You're just like, oh, eventually you're just like, this is not looking too bad. Like we all go through phases where we're like, okay, my painting is a piece of shit, and then like you just have to get past that, and it's like a really long process, but the end result, you will feel really good, even if it doesn't look as good as you want it to be.
Nice. So surrounding yourself with good people, positive people.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm really blessed by like the fact that I got to meet a lot of amazing people during my time working. It's like, I don't know. I feel like the universal occasion of throwing a bone and just be like, here, have some good friends, because your life is hard.
Yeah, that's a quote growing up. I grew up hearing was, tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. And that's what I tell people is like stay away from like the negativity and negative people that are always, kind of complaining and finding things to nitpick. Like always just stay positive and talk to positive people, and that's why I like to surround myself with people like Espen Lash. I don't know if you know who Espen is, but that guy is so positive, man. Like it's just talking.
Yeah, I met Espen before when I was at Massive Black Workshop. He's so funny. I love him.
Yeah, he's amazing, and just people like that, in general that are always positive and just kind of feed your soul. Like whenever you're down, like I'll write them like, hey man, what's up, and it's just really good to talk to people like that, like just positivity, and that's kind of what we push in the group too. Like we don't like people like posting dumb stuff, and so just positivity is a big thing. But yeah, um, so that leads to the next question: are you extremely hard on yourself, like self-critical, and how do you get past the self-criticalness that you bring onto yourself? Because I know a lot of us are self-critical, like to the point of what do I call it? I call it artistic paralysis. Like when you're too critical on yourself and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna stop drawing. Like I can't do this. So how do you get past that? And how critical are you on yourself?
Uh, I think, yeah, I think I'm like everybody else where I'm like, I tend to have days where I'm like extremely harsh on myself, and then I will have days where I'm just like, I think I'm doing pretty okay. And I think having a good knowledge of like who you are and where you stand in terms of skills, it really helps. Like knowing what your weakness is and knowing what you're good at, because like then you at least have you kind of like know where you're standing in terms of like where you are. It's just like I'm good at this and this, but then I'm also weak at that. So you can spend time to work on what you're weak at, and like I think that's what got me through. It's just kind of like, yeah, I might not be the best drawer, but I'm gonna work harder on that so I can compensate. And then I think I'm a pretty decent painter, and I think if I work on my drawing a little bit more, I can be better. I think it's just understanding that the fact that you're always improve, it really helps you, because you're not gonna just not improve as long as you work hard. And it doesn't really help that don't defeat yourself, because then next thing you know, you're not doing anything, and then you're just standing where you originally are, and you just gotta keep doing and pushing yourself. And I think it might feel bad right now, but eventually it will be a lot better, because you're gonna look back at the things you did 2 years or a year ago, and then you'd be like, oh my god, I think I improved a lot. So I think always set your eyes on the future, because you're just like, and set a goal for yourself. I think that really helps.
So it's just knowing that if you just keep going, you're gonna get better eventually.
Yeah, keep going, knowing who you are. It's just like, don't be like, just don't hate yourself 100%. 60% maybe.
Just 99% hate yourself.
Yeah, just 99%. Have that 1% where you're like, oh, I'm good at this. I'm a nice person.
But I'm so nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so we just had a question, which I was about to ask. That's funny. It's like the same thing that I was going to ask. How many hours a day were you drawing when you first started? Because I know it kind of changes once you start getting work. But when you first started learning, how many hours a day would you say you were drawing early on?
Well, I think I drew more when I dropped out of college than I drew when I was actually in college. Because like, something about our college, it just didn't sit well with me. It just like when I was there, I just didn't want to do anything. And then as soon as I dropped out, I spent like at least like maybe 8 or 10 hours my day just drawing. Although I feel like people should have a better schedule than that, because that's not really healthy. I don't know. I don't want to give people an hour, because like everybody's different, and I also promote like an active, healthy lifestyle, which I'm trying to work at also, because my lifestyle right now is so messed up. Like there will be days when I wake up like 3 in the afternoon and I'll be like, I hate myself. It's like, I don't know, just have a good balance, like whatever works for you. You don't need to work 10 hours a day or like 8 hours a day. It's just like whatever works for you. Like I don't have a solid answer for that.
Yeah, there's no solid
like
answer.
What works for me isn't gonna work for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, when I think when I first jumped on this whole art thing, like it was like the thing to just kill yourself and draw. So I don't know. I guess it depends on people. I know there's people that are like, oh, you have to draw your ass off, and then there's people that are like, take your time. So I guess it depends on the person. I guess you don't want to burn yourself out is
It's
what
like
the answer is.
working hard is good, but then you should also work smart. It's
Mm.
just like a person can work 10 hours a day if they're doing something mundane or it doesn't really help them. It's just kind of like you're not improving at all. Whereas like if somebody knows what exactly they need to improve on, they work on that 10 hours a day. It's just like the result is going to be really different.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we did the hours a day. Okay, I'll ask my last question, which is, and then we're gonna start taking questions, guys. So, what would you say was the best advice you were ever given as far as art, or you heard, or you saw, or
I think I don't have an exact advice, but I think it's just like I have a lot of friends at Riot and Blizzard, and I think they really pushed me to practice doing stylized art. And I think, because like at first when I started, I was really adamant. It's like, oh, I can't do stylized. It's not my thing. My thing is like realism, blah blah blah. And I just never did it because like, oh, it's not my thing. It's not my style. And then like eventually, like a good friend of mine just like really pushed me to go into that direction, and like I learned so much from it. It's just like even if doing stylized and cartoony thing isn't my thing, it's such a good practice because like it opened my eyes to like a lot of different things. Like when you're doing stylized, you have to focus on like really good shape language, and like you can't exactly fall back on rendering, which is like what I tend to do. And like when I focus on rendering a lot, I tend to like be blind to a lot of other things that are also important. It's just like, really interesting silhouette, just really interesting colors. I think just having good friends who really push me to do something else, it just like it really helped me.
so exploring, you'd say, kind of
Yeah,
just.
just exploring different things. Even if something that's you're never gonna do. Like, when I was hired by a studio down in London, I did like a game for like a kid's cartoon, and like I'm just like at first I was just kind of like, ew, this is so just such a job right now because like it's not in my alley at all. But like the more I do it, the more like I enjoy it because I'm just like this is just so different. They just really push yourself to do different things because you never know whether or not you're gonna like it in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like the Betty 2 years ago is just gonna laugh at the fact that I'm doing stylized things right now because I was so adamant about not doing it for the longest time.
They're talking about the 10,000 hours in the chat right now. The 10,000
What?
hours. The 10,000 hours to become great thing. The rule.
What?
That's the painful reality. I don't know. I mean, would you agree with that? 10,000 hours?
I think it's probably gonna be more than 10,000 hours because like if you're gonna be an artist forever, you're gonna be like working and improving until the day you die,
Exactly.
or until the day you get Parkinson's and can't draw anymore.
Yeah, there's just no. I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen people that pick up a lot faster than others.
it's
So
just like I tend to think that like as an artist, you're always working. Like your job never ends because like even if you like come back from work, you're still working because you're just like I gotta improve, right?
yep, yeah, you never stop learning. That's what I tell people.
Yeah, you
There's
just
no
never
finish
stop.
line. So they're talking about. Let's see. Now we're starting to take questions. From Sunny X7. He or she is asking, have you ever took any online art courses such as Schoolism or Gnomon? I'm also a student in Sheridan Illustration and sometimes bored there, so I was thinking of taking some online courses since they look a bit more helpful.
Okay. I feel really bad because I can't really help you on this because I haven't taken any online courses, but I have taken a lot of workshops, and those tend to be really good.
Workshops.
It's like you get to like I took schoolism workshops when I was down in Montreal, and I think the best workshop I ever went to was like the massive black one where I saw all my friends there. It's like I'm still waiting for another one to happen so I can see all my friends again, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen again. It makes me so sad. But oh, she's from illustration, right? Sheridan Illustration.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe she can. Oh, I know people in Sheridan Animation offer. They can become your tutor. I don't know exact procedure to like get that, but I think Sheridan like they do this thing where you can get tutors from like different programs to help you on things. So you should look into that. I know a lot of people in animation are really amazing at what they do. So like if you find a tutor and like I think you pay them like 20 hours per session or something like that, it might really help.
I've never even heard of Sheridan. What is that?
Oh, it's I think it's probably like the best art school in Canada right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So there you go.
It really specializes. A lot of people who go to Sheridan, you know Bobby Chu. I
Yeah.
think he used to go to Sheridan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bobby Chu's Canadian too, right?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
Okay. Yeah, I'm bad with memory stuff, as we talked about. So there you go, Sunny X7. From RN2, Jesus Christ, RN2. He or she is asking, can you recommend some books?
Like art books
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
What kind of books?
I guess art books. I'm guessing.
Like that's a really vague question because I'm just like, what kind of books are you looking for? Are you looking for books by like to teach you how to do art? Are you looking from books from like other artists? Like
yeah, I guess any book that you'd say helped you. I know for me, Color and Light is really great.
Is it bad that I don't own any of those books? Like, what does this make me? Like, I own a lot of art books, but I never own any art books that teach me how to paint or draw.
So you just have
It's
like art of books, like movie books and stuff like that?
Yeah, like art of Brahm. I love Brahm, by the way. And like art of Dead Space, art of this and that video game. I always have like a lot of books like that, where I get like a mishmash of things.
Yeah.
I think it's because like I'm kind of self-taught, so like I just learn by looking at other people's art.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And like I never look into other people's process because they're just like, I'll figure out a process along the way.
So yeah, for me personally, guys, if you're looking for books, I definitely recommend Color. I'm looking for it. They're all behind me. Color and Light is a really good book by what's his name? I'm horrible with names. Gurney, James Gurney, I think.
Yeah.
Color and Light. He's got the other one, Dinotopia, I think, and he's got a few books that are out. They're amazing. Yeah, really good stuff. Especially Color and Light. He goes really in depth with stuff, and check that out. And then the Scott Robertson books, How to Render and How to Draw. I think he's coming out with another one. And of course, anatomy books, Loomis. You go online and just Google Loomis PDFs, and they all pop up. They're all free. So yeah, those are my recommendations for me. So if you guys want to look those up, let's see. I skipped a question from Bashar. It was a pretty good question actually. What did he say? He asked, what was his question? Oh, when do you decide when to decide someone is ready to present their work for an employment? I guess when did you decide you were ready to present your work to potential clients?
When did I decide?
Like when did you know? Was it positive
when
feedback?
I needed a job.
Were you getting positive feedback from friends though, or like other artists? Is that kind of how you gauged it?
I always got positive. Okay, this sounds like I'm talking myself up, but like I think that my friends are always very supportive of like where I am in terms of art. So I'm just like, I'm just like, why not just give it a shot? Like, I look at other people's portfolio and I try to like do what they do. And I'm just like, when I finished my first portfolio, which was like, looking back at it, I'm just like, ew. Like, I can't believe I got hired by anybody. But, like, there's always going to be demand for you depending on, like, what you do if you just look for it.
Yeah.
It's like when I first got hired, I just couldn't believe it because, like, my portfolio was just so, like, unprofessional. And like, literally, I showed my friends my first resume, and they laughed because it was like, oh, my God, what is this? Your eHarmony, like, profile page or something? It was just like, I started off really unprofessional because I just didn't know what to do. Like, I would drop out of college, nobody told me what to do. So like, but I tried. I looked hard for a job, and eventually I found something. It's like someone out there is always going to give you an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I like. I don't know if you've ever seen Brad Rigney's tutorial thing where he talks about this, and they ask him like, "How do you know when you're ready?" And he's kind of like, "You'll know. You know, it's about." He says it's about seeing things as they are, not how you want them to see. And he talks about like just look at what's out there and how your work compares to that, and kind of gauge where you are by looking at the people that are getting hired, the people that are being looked at, and just being honest with yourself. And that's how you know you'll be ready. That's what Brad Rigney was talking about. Um, let's see. From Art Crisis, how do you market yourself? And did you post your work daily on Facebook or other social media?
I think when I first started, I was like really active on Facebook. It's like I was friends with everybody. I posted like maybe a couple times a week. It just like okay, and back when CG Hub was a thing, I was posting and interacting on CG Hub a lot. So I think that really helped. Just making friends in industry because like 90% of my jobs are all because like I had a friend who introduced me to something. It's just like my recent gig is like somebody found me online. They're like, oh, want to work for this? It's just like 90% of like the gigs I got was just like somebody recommended me. So it really helps to have friends. It really helps to be active on social media. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely networking. That's how I've
Yeah.
gotten. That's how I've gotten gigs, is just knowing a person, and they're like, "Hey, man, we got this going on," or whatever. So that
Yeah.
leads.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. Cause I have a lot of friends in freelancing, and they're just like, they're so high in demand to the point where they're just like, Betty, I can't do this. You want to do this for me? And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that if you have like a lot of connections.
My cat's right here.
Or like,
my cat just jumped on me.
What? Oh, so cute! Oh my goodness.
Yep, he's right here. Sorry, we got a guest.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Oh.
Let's interview him. He's much more interesting.
Yeah, so definitely, and that's what I was gonna say is it goes back to not being an asshole and being cool with people, because when you network, people like you, people know you, and jobs come from that actually. So just mingle around, get to know people and stuff. But that's
just like if you also want to work in the studio job, it really helps to have friends in the studio. Because like if you apply online, you're literally like throwing your portfolio into cyberspace. Because like an art director is not looking at your portfolio; it's like a recruiter. So like a recruiter doesn't even know like what half the time what he or she is doing. Yeah. So like if you have a friend in the studio who can like put your portfolio under the AD's nose, it's just like it really helps.
Yep. So that was for I can't even remember who that was.
It's okay.
Art Crisis. Art Crisis. That was Art Crisis. From Zalius. What's the best way to meet other artists that work in the industry in person? I don't know if that matters because everything's online nowadays. But what would you say?
I think most of my friends I met online, and then eventually like we got close enough to a point where like, hey, you want to come down to Canada or California and just hang out for a bit? I met a lot of friends at workshops, but I don't go to that a lot often because nowadays everything's online, and like once you have one friend, you meet their friends, and next thing you know, like you have like a friend circle.
Yep. Yep. It happens.
Yeah. And I think I feel like it's a little bit easier for me as a girl because like people tend to approach you a little bit more because you're less intimidating. Because like I'm like 5'6", I'm short, like I'm not that scary looking. People will come up to me and say hi. So it's just like I think being like open and friendly, it really helps.
Being approachable.
Yeah, being approachable.
Being approachable, being a girl.
Being a girl helps. I'm sorry. It kind of.
Let's see. Next one, we're gonna take a few more, and then we'll go over the entries if that's cool with you from last month and your winners, because we went over them with Evan. So we'll go over them again if you're cool with that.
Okay. Where do I take a look at them?
I got them all. You can look at the Twitch screen. I'll have them all up here in a second.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look.
Because it's like a million of them.
Yeah. It's been a while since I last seen them.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. From Beastie Boy 42. Question: do you have any daily drawing routines or warm up exercises? If yes, what do you do?
I don't have any warm up exercise. My warm up exercise is literally me getting up of bed, getting coffee, and just like working. Like, oh, what's on my list? Oh, all these things. I gotta do it. That's my warm up. The warm up's getting out of bed. That's what it is.
It's the coffee. Yeah, coffee, man.
Getting coffee and getting dressed and putting on pants.
Let's see. Sunny X7 again. She's double dipping. I'm asking on behalf of a friend, since he needs to leave, what's the lowest moment? Ooh, this looks like a good question. What's the lowest moment in your life, and what did you learn from it?
I think the lowest moment of my life was actually quite recent. It was when I moved down to London for a studio gig. And, like, it was actually my first studio gig, and, like, I had so much hope for it. I was just like, oh, my God, like, I'm going to be with people who are just like me. It's going to change my life, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, it turns out to be something really different from my expectation. And the fact that, like, London, Ontario is not a good place. Like, if you look it up on Google, like, at some point, it was considered a serial killer capital of the world. Like, that's how bad it was. The city was not good. Like, when I worked in the office, I passed by so much drug addicts and people with teardrop tattoos. It's scary.
Wow.
Like, there was one incident where, like, a homeless person actually locked himself within our office, and, like, somebody had to kick him out because, like, it was just, like, he was just within our lobby, and I'm just like, oh, my God, I can't get to work.
Wow. So it was it just the location that made it bad? It was just...
It was the location and the fact that it wasn't for me. Everybody was really nice. I don't want to, like, talk down on anybody, but it just wasn't my environment. And like, the fact that I had no friends in London, I think I wasn't into my work. I was in a space where I didn't know anybody. It really, like, made me upset. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It was just like a really low moment for me, because I'm just like, here I am having all these high expectations for my first studio jobs, and, like, it went down the dumps within, like, 2 months.
Damn.
But at the same time, I think a lot of good things came out of it, because, like, I had my first studio job. It was, like, a very eye-opening experience, and as a result of that, I worked really hard to get out of it, and I did. It's like, I sold my apartment, I left my job, now I have, like, this really good job where I'm working with the producer who used to work on Metal Gear, and, like, all my coworkers are amazing, and it's just like, you have really low moments, but then eventually everything would be better if you work yourself out of it. And yeah. I think, if I get to change the past, I probably won't change that, because I'm just like, it might be bad, but it's still an experience in some ways. So, yeah.
Sweet. Good stuff. I think, I don't know if I'm seeing any more questions on the chat. Let's see. Nope, I don't see. They're asking, is Ricky Japanese? No, I'm not. I'm not Japanese. I'm Canadian. We'll go with Canadian. I'm Canadian. James Gurney, book is bomb. Somebody said, yeah, it's amazing. No, I'm not seeing any more questions. They're just saying thank you for answering the questions. I don't know if you're looking at the chat, but I guess I'll ask you the last question. I kind of went away from asking this question. Final question: Star Wars or Star Trek?
Okay, embarrass myself answering this question, but I had to say Star Wars, but at the same time, I'm also not a big fan of Star Wars.
So you just prefer.
And I just lost all of my friends.
I know, like you go back to Facebook and they're all gone.
Like, where'd everybody go? It's like, I think it's the fact that I also grew up in Asia, and it's like, if you go to like China or Japan or Korea, like Star Wars isn't a thing. It's not. Because like I think it's like a really big North American thing, and you go back to Asia, like nobody talks about it. And so like by the time I came here, and like the first Star Wars I seen was with young Anakin, I was just like, that scarred me really. Like the first prequel to Star Wars, I don't know, like the really horrible one was Jar Jar Binks. Like that was the first one I saw, and it was terrible. And like that's my impression of Star Wars, honestly.
Yeah, I'm kind of not really. I didn't really watch Star Wars growing up, and it wasn't for a while, and then I watched it, and I kind of like. I had to put myself back in those times. I'm like, okay, so I guess it was like out of its time, sort of. So I kind of grew into me. So yeah, definitely Star Wars for me too. I'm not a big Star Trek fan. That's just
Star Trek was just like when did it came out? The 80s, the 60s, the 70s. When did Star Trek came out?
Probably 70s, I think.
Yeah, like that's way before my time. So like I feel really guilty for saying it, but like I just never got time to like really fall in love with it, because I think Star Wars is a thing where like people love it because they grew up on it. It's like their childhood movie that they love.
Yeah, I can't take Star Wars. I mean Star Trek. It's just horrible. I can't do it. It's too. I'm gonna go and say it. I'm sorry, guys. It's too nerdy for me. Like it's just too much. Star Trek.
I think it's just a little bit outdated,
Yeah, it's just But all right, so that was the last question. We'll go over the entries now, guys. Thanks again for answering the questions, Betty. So we'll go off all the entries here. Let's see, starting with Taylor Christensen. I'm gonna just kind of like scroll through them, guys. So, good job, Taylor. Oh, there we go. Next up is Stephen Griffin. I like her Snow White. She's pretty. Let's see. Up next, Sterling Morris. Can you see them?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Simon Mandel or Simone Mandel. Sean Michael Perry. I like that one. By the way, guys, the brief was to draw this whole series of Ascensions. It's pretty much a fairy tale mix of like sci-fi. So like Alex Negrea's challenge was to draw the guy from Sword and Stone, which is I guess King Arthur, I guess. And we kind of give it a sci-fi twist, and then this next character for Betty's challenge, it was draw Snow White, but like being kidnapped by the seven dwarfs, which are evil seven dwarfs. So they're not your typical, fairy tale seven dwarfs. So it's kind of twisted, I guess you could say. Up next is Rodrigo Vicens. Good stuff. Kubok Jr. I like this piece too. Really cool. Nanel Miyagokba. Nicholas Rivero. I like this one. This one's pretty creepy. Like how it's so creepy. I like it. Nell Ricard. I liked her piece too. Oh, by the way, Nell's
like kind of lagging for me. So like each piece you're talking about, I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's a little. It's not that it's laggy, but it's got like a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that.
The face that Neil did is really pretty.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And by the way, Nell, one of Nell's Ascension pieces got selected for Spectrum. So again, congrats, Nell.
Oh,
good stuff.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Yep.
That's a big deal.
Yep.
Also, going back to Simone Mandel, I took a look at her photo. She's really amazing.
Simone? Yeah. Let's see, where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
He did the really stylized looking Snow White. It was really cute.
Yeah. Michael Howden. Next is Mel Coelus. Lydia Watkins. He's pretty clean. Luke Maddox. Luke's been killing it, man. I love Luke's entries. I think he won second place last challenge. Oh, I didn't even notice he added a picture of the last guy that he drew for the last challenge, and he's got like a little Polaroid of him, which is really cool.
Oh, good. I think I've seen a lot of Luke's stuff on like Facebook. I think he's really good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I think every challenge he has done so far has just been like, wow.
Yeah, pretty mind blowing. He actually did 2 challenges. He did, 2 pieces. So this was the second one by Luke. He's just on fire. Leija. I'm so bad. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Hosvar? I'm sorry. Laura Bavone. I really like this one too. The presentation. It looks really. It looks like almost like a video game cover. Laura Bavone.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Good job. Like a really awesome album cover.
Yeah. And I definitely recommend guys doing what she did here, how she linked her Facebook page. It's really cool. Smart. You should do that. And like I tell people, the whole purpose of like having the draw or die Ascension stuff on there is just to get you used to placement like of titles or whatever it is. So you're kind of thinking about that before you're just drawing stuff out. Kevin McDowell, I think he's in the chat. I'm not sure. Kayla Junkis. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Kayla. Caden James. This one's a little bit too dark, dude. I would have done with some sort of lighting from underneath. Good stuff though. Cassandra Vasquez. Joy Yang. This one's interesting. And
I'm waiting for it to pop on Twitch because like, there's a lag for me, so I'm just like,
You're like, what is he looking
I
at?
want to see this interesting painting.
Joshua
Nice.
Joshua. Yes. Which one are you looking at?
Looking at Joy Yang's right now.
Okay.
It has a really interesting composition.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Joshua Meehan, I like the colors for this one, and the Seven Dwarfs are like really that's an interesting take on it's super sci-fi. Like this is actually exactly what I kind of this is kind of exactly what I pictured like the sci-fi version of this to be. So it's really cool. Good job, Josh. I like it a lot. Joseph Yoon Hao. Good piece. I'm kind of taking it slower now since it's kind of lagging for you.
It's like a huge lag for me for some reason.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Not a big deal. I don't know if it's like just Twitch or like my internet.
Actually, you know what I should have done? I should have screen shared with you. Well, that's another thing to fix.
It's next time.
Joelle Tarina. Good job.
Whoa, that was a little bit dark.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, they're gonna brand her. Oh my god.
Jimmy Geisens. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I like Jimmy's. Jimmy, I almost liked your sketch a little bit better, to be honest. But good piece, though. Good piece. Jeremy Gordon. Good job, Jeremy. Jen Walden. Jen A. Jeffrey Robbins. I like how he drew a guy in the background too. Good job, dude. I remember your other one. Good stuff. Jack Hoyle. I like how he really like drew some life into this. It's really cool. Like he even painted the panda and the guy on the dresser, and like he even gave it like a fake like a poster in the background. Like there's a movie called Galactic Cruises. Like I think there was a good bit of thinking behind this one. Cool stuff. Um, Although it looks very referencey, I gotta say, it kind of like she looks extremely referenced. So I would try to sort of uh, give it a little bit of a flair and get away from the ref. I'm not sure how much he referenced, but it's got it's got a little referencey taste to it. But good stuff though. I love this piece.
Yeah, it's
Ingrid,
pretty solid.
huh?
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, solid. Ingrid Junkunoriu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good piece. Very stylized. Ian Shreve. Very original. This looks like a cover for it looks like a children's book cover. Um, Gunnar Larson. Good job, dude. The dwarfs are like little monsters of some kind. Gregor Volger. We'll just go with Volger. Gregor Volger. Nice piece. He kind of made the elves look like little tiny knights or something. Gutierre Dugal and his dwarves are some sort of demons. I don't know. Eric Summers. Good job, dude. Edgy Zane. Good stuff, dude. Ooh, I like this one. Dahlia Kador. Good job. I like this one a lot. I like the apple. Wow. I like the apple.
That's pretty cool.
Cosmo Glygor. Good job, dude. Somebody said, "Hey Ricky, I think the internet is slow on your side." Yeah, sorry guys. Try to refresh a little bit. Maybe it'll unlag a little bit. Uh,
Does that really help? Because I might do that.
yeah, it kind of refreshes things a little bit. Somebody asked if you're going to THU, Betty.
Where is that happening? It's always in Europe, right?
Yeah, I think THU's in Portugal. I think.
Portugal.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be down in California at that time, so no.
No.
Also, making a journey to like Europe for like a workshop, it's like a big thing. I don't know if I'm going.
Yeah.
Although people always ask me to go, but I'm just like,
Yeah, sorry guys, she's not going.
yeah, sorry.
Let's see. Cedric Cave. Good piece. Carrie Bean. Rosal Henry. Brits. I think we had we had 49 entries. I think we might have had a few late ones, so we had something like 55 entries, but right here I have 49, so it's a lot. It's a lot of entries.
That's a lot.
Brits Sorensen. Andre Blanc. Good job, Andre. Adrian Alejo. Good piece. The only thing I have, like right off the bat, like it's not so much the piece, but a lot of times presentation, guys, like I know it doesn't really matter because you could just get rid of it, but like, try to keep the text simple. Keep it simple so it doesn't throw you off. Like that's the first thing that pops up in my head, like when I look at it.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Starting with honorable mention is Alexander Lucas, and we went over it with Evan, and what Evan said was that this piece is nice, but it doesn't look like she's threatened or anything by the dwarves. It just kind of looks like they're all hanging out and having a good time. So it kind of doesn't stay with the brief, but it's a pretty piece, So I could see why you picked it.
I think out of all the pieces, this one probably has like the strongest composition because like everything's flowing, she's in motion.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't follow the brief at all. She's being captured because like it looks like she's the queen of the dwarves.
Yeah. Yeah, but I
But
definitely
it's pretty well
see.
done.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a strong portfolio piece for sure. That's like whatever the story may be, it's still a nice piece. So I can see that's why you
Yeah.
picked it, and
I
I
think they can
definitely like
benefit
it.
a little bit more for like right now all the details are same for like every part of the canvas is like the same amount of rendering. Like it can probably benefit from a little bit of like rendering the faces, the chest area, like where the eyes is supposed to focus at.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it would benefit a lot from just like rendering more.
yeah. Good job, Alexander. Love it. Love the piece, man.
Yeah, did a
And
really good job.
that was the honorable mention. Now,
Mhm.
for third place was a 3D model actually by Morgan Malville. Good stuff. Evan liked it. He thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was a really good design. You should finish it.
Yeah, maybe add some color.
Although, like, I wasn't sure how to judge it because like I'm just like, are you supposed to make a like illustration piece? Or can you just do concepts? Like, this is a really solid concept piece, I think.
Yeah, just I mean, since we're doing 3D and 2D stuff, so it works both ways. What I'd like to see is a 3D guy take an old Ascension piece that somebody else did, and then do a 3D model out of that. That'd be awesome. But
Yeah, that one.
yeah, that'd be sweet. But good job, Morgan. Like it. The only thing I had was the presentation. Maybe I would maybe go for. I think this is some sort of. I don't know much about 3D, but I think this is like a. I've seen a few artists do this background, like where it looks like they're sitting on a table and you sculpted them. But I would have maybe gone with a cleaner, like a different shot, all aligned and maybe a little bit cleaner, a better presentation instead of like on a table. But that's just me. That's just my thought. That's
Mm-hmm.
let's see. And for second place, Matthew Cowdery. Good job, dude. This one's pretty
Yeah,
phenomenal.
like I thought I was gonna choose that one as first because like I was like, whoa, holy crap, so much work into this. But like, it was a really hard pick because like this one's amazing, and the one by Christian is also very amazing.
Yeah,
It just like
yeah. I like how Matthew's always doing some crazy perspective shots. Like the last one he did was kind of this shot, only looking down. I like how much work he puts in the backgrounds, and it's just a really interesting piece. I like how he's pushing himself like that. He's not going for a stale, like what I do, like really stale pin-up pose stuff. He's just going for it, and really good stuff, dude. Love it. Um,
there's some photo textures I see
uh, I don't,
on the background.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I hope not, because we're not allowed to use photo textures. We're kind of trying to.
Oh,
Yeah, but I don't think so though. I don't think he's got photo textures. Yeah, I don't think so. They might be brushes.
okay, okay. Well,
Yeah,
even if it's photos, like it's alright for me, but I didn't know it was a thing not to use photos.
yeah. We're trying to keep it away from using photos just to make it harder. Because even for me, because I love using photo textures like on metal and stuff like that, but it's painful. But that was no, I don't think he uses. I've seen a lot of his works and progresses, but I don't think he's got textures.
Okay,
And
that's alright.
yeah, and finally the winner, Christian Angel,
Oh my bad.
the winner.
Okay,
This one,
let's see. Well, let everybody we know he's amazing. So
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like there's really not much to say other than this is amazing.
yeah. It was just the colors, the comp. It's an interesting take, man. It was just Evan really liked this piece as well. He was like, "Wow, it's amazing."
Mm.
And he's a big what's his name, Ruin Gia. He's a big Ruin Gia
Yeah, I saw
fan.
that as soon as I saw it. I was like, ooh, that Chinese illustrator look.
Yeah, he's big time into that. Amazing work, dude. Loved it. Good stuff, man. So congrats. We're gonna make the banner. I have not made the banner yet. Oh my god. I'm gonna do that today. Sorry guys. But that's because we announced the winners already, so it's kind of like but good job, guys. Good
Well,
job.
it's never too late.
It's
Yep, everybody does such a good job. You guys should all pat yourself on the back.
yeah, good job, guys. Amazing work. Good job. And that's it. That's it. If anybody has any last questions for Betty, we'll take them. Going. Let's see. I'm reading the chat. Uh, that's the default ZBrush background that comes with a new ZBrush key shot. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I guess Christian's saying thank you. He's in here. But I guess if we don't have any more questions, guys, we got one more question. I would like to know on your thoughts of the whole brush scenario. I'm always hearing about how people are saying brushes are everything versus understanding how to paint is more important. What are your takes on this?
I think this is a more important question if you're like an illustrator or a painter, because like if you're a concept artist, you can honestly like you can use that round brush and you can get away with it because you'd be like it would be more drawing than anything else. But like I don't think brushes are everything. It's like I've seen people go crazy using somebody else's brush, and I'm like, stop it! You're destroying yourself with all those textures. I think it really helps to limit yourself to like 4 or 5 brushes because you really don't need that much.
Yeah.
It's like as long as you have a solid painting, you don't need to rely on brushes. Because I'm just like, do we really need that real life looking oil texture? No.
Yeah, that I'm kind of like
it's not important.
Yeah, it's not. I think the brush thing. I think that came off from like the very early scene of like back when the Steambot guys were doing speed paintings, and I think Sparth was doing speed paintings, and they had really like specific brushes they were using and making, and they were like shapes and all kinds of stuff. I think that's where that came from. But nowadays, people are more into looking for like painterly brushes and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm the ones I'm using are I think they're a mix. I was looking at Dan Lovisi's and they're kind of mixed too. I was surprised because I found a bunch of old brush packs. But yeah, it's really what works for you. It's not really about the brushes. A lot of people always think it's the brushes, but no.
Yeah, it's like I think we went through a weird trend where everybody's like, "Oh my god, the best brushes are the ones that like manipulate how traditional media looks like." And I'm just like, that's always been very funny to me because I'm just like, then why don't you just traditionally paint?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sound like a bitch about it. Like it's just kind of how I think. I'm just like, it's I don't know when people go crazy over brushes. It's really funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not really the brush, guys, but
Yeah, it's not.
how can I don't understand the question, Cowades. How can an artist find their title in the industry? What do you mean title? How can an artist find their title in the industry? I don't know if you.
Maybe he means like, how do you? I actually don't know. What is he trying to ask?
Yeah, I don't get it. Cowades, can you hear us?
If you can, we need to.
Oh, there's my cat. Hi, buddy. My cat's right here with me. What's up, dude? What's up, Batman? Hey. He's crazy. Like, define their job title as a 3D modeler or a 3D concept designer. Well, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. It depends on what you're good at or what you want to do.
Or where you apply for?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you like doing, you know? Like, choose between 2D and 3D. The delay is crazy.
Like, I think maybe he means, like, what defines you as a senior, what defines you as an associate, and, like, stuff. I think he means that?
Yeah, that's a... Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
But then that just kind of, like, relies on your work experience, and, like, once again, it depends on what position you apply for.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, since that was all the questions, and we're at... What's up, Cat? Jesus Christ. Since... Cat, get off. Sorry about that, Betty. Yeah, that was it. And thanks again for judging. Hopefully, we can do this again sometime. That'd be awesome if we can get you next year. It'd be fun. But thanks again, and thanks for answering the questions. It was fun. We both just woke up tired, so um,
All
yeah.
right.
Do you have
Thank you guys.
any last words for the guys?
Um, keep drawing, never give up, make friends, be a nice person, and don't send dick pics through messengers, please.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Trust me, if you ask any female artists out there on Facebook, probably every one of them has gotten one, at least one.
Really?
Don't be like that. Don't be that guy.
Oh my god. Who does that? Why would you guys do that? Don't do that. That's not nice. Why? Nobody wants to see your dick pics, guys. So that's what we learned
Exactly.
today from Betty. Today, no dick pics, guys, please. That's
All
fine.
right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys. See y'all.
Cool. Well, that was great.
Yeah, that was fun.